Williams, and I'm an inspirational speaker and author. My book is Light of Purpose, Journey for God's Purpose, an impossible journey meant for good. I just want to take you guys on a little journey, a little bit about my life. I'm a survivor of child abuse and cancer. Growing up, I came from a very abusive family with my mom and dad. They were very abusive. My mom became very abusive when I was about 6 or 7 years old. We grew up in San Francisco. It was like 13 of us. I'm the 11th born. One day my mom decided to take us back to LA for whatever reason, and when she did that, it just turned my life upside down, because I came from a two-parent family home, and it was very loving. It was like this, gorgeous and peaceful, and I had love, and I had two parents. So when my mom uprooted us, my life was never the same. And because of that, I still find myself touched by it. Because of that, my mom became very abusive. She turned into a very abusive person when we left San Francisco, because she decided to join the Nation of Islam, which meant we became Muslims. Out of nowhere, we're Muslims. So, and then she put us in this school, Islamic school, which was very, very harsh, very abusive. So it was something that I didn't enjoy. And moving forward, I'd like to just move forward from that, because I find myself getting too emotional about it. But for 30 years, having that unattachment to my parents, I searched for love. I was always yearning for love, somebody, anybody, just trying to fill this void that I had. For 30 years, buying properties, buying cars and getting married, not to say my kids aren't a blessing, because they are, but just the things that I was doing, it was because I didn't have an attachment to anything, so it's very hard for me just growing up not having that. So one day I just decided, after 30-something years, you know what, there's got to be a better life than this. There's got to be something better than what I'm doing. And I just decided to get rid of everything that I own and move into this 600 square foot little cubby hole, because I wanted to attach myself to God. I wanted a better relationship with God. And I knew I had to let go and let Him deal with me. And for 3 years, I felt I got that. I would eat, sleep, and breathe Him. I was into the gospel. I was into TV, and I was into anything that was spiritual that would help me, because I was lost. I'm a grown woman lost, but I'm smiling on the outside, and nobody knew I was hurting so much inside, But it wasn't until I found Jesus that my life really turned around. So I felt God was ready to use me once He put me in a place where I was humble and I needed Him. After 3 years of really building my relationship with Him, I find out I have cancer. But guess what? I wasn't devastated. It was like, okay. But if I hadn't had a relationship with God, I would have been crazy devastated. So when the doctor told me, I'm sorry to tell you, Miss Williams, you have cancer, I'm like, okay. I was kind of calm too. I really was calm, but he tried to break me, you got it. It's going to eat you up. It's going to break you down and everything. And I said, well, when he finished, you know what? This is the Lord's temple. He can have His way with me. And my doctor was like, did you hear what I said? I said, well, did you hear what I said? Yeah. This is the Lord's temple. He can have His way with me. So he walked out of the room. He just didn't believe it. So from that day, he was angry with me all the time. So the Lord put it in my heart to just leave him alone. But then moving forward, I hear last year, I went to the doctor, and my doctor tells me the cancer's back. I had a transplant. The latter part of 2012. I had a transplant at City of Hope. I was in the hospital for a whole month. Totally different. Blew up. I mean, I was totally different, you know. So I had this transplant, and my doctor's telling me that cancer's back. Now, I have this relationship with God, and I thank God for this relationship. I thank Him for everything that I went through because I'm a better person because of it. So when He told me that, I said, well, I thought you said it was good for 7 years, 2 to 7 years. He said, well, you know, nothing's guaranteed. I said, the Lord is guaranteed, you know. And from that moment on, I walked out of his office and I didn't go back to a doctor, period, for 6 months. Because when you're walking with the Lord and you know the Lord is good and He's in control, then you turn it over to Him. I turned it over to Him. I found some people to help. I went to Jamaica for 6 months. I didn't go see no doctor, period. After a doctor telling me the cancer came back, I'm walking in faith. I'm trusting you that this is your temple. You have your way with me. Let me go help somebody. And that's what I did. I ran a marathon. I worked out and did a marathon. I gave my daughter a baby shower. And I went to Jamaica twice to help some folks. So when I did come back, went to the doctor, guess what? Nothing's there. That's faith. Our life is a journey for God's purpose. We are put on this earth for God's purpose, not our own. But in order for God to use us for His purpose, we have to go through some things. It's not going to just happen. It's like a job. Do you just get that job because you want it? You have to qualify for it. You have to apply for it. You have to have a resume. It's the same with the Lord. He's not going to just give us blessings. So for me, I totally get purpose. And I have plenty of it now. And I am so blessed that I have purpose. Because when things happen to me, right away, I know God is drawing me in closer. He's drawing me in so close to Him. And I get it. Having purpose is the best thing you can have. Having peace is the best thing you can have. So my thing is with you guys, encouragement. Whatever you're going through in life, it is a journey. God is preparing you for something big because we all have a story that has to be told by somebody down the road that needs to hear from us. That's how it is. That's life. This is life. We aren't put on this earth for ourselves. So if He put us here for His purpose, then He's got to use us. And in order for us to have His blessings, the fruit of our labor, we have to go through some suffering just like Jesus did. What makes us so special that we're not supposed to go through anything. So my thing is, when you're going through anything, because I almost lost this one here. About 6 months ago, they planted it on my door. You got to go. Auctioning it off. I couldn't pay it. It's in foreclosure. I said, okay. Lord, I stood in my living room and I said, everything on this earth belongs to you. And if you want me out, you move me out. But man will not move me. In the name of Jesus. And I left it alone. I didn't think about it anymore because when you say that, you're letting Him know. You trust Him. So go do His work. You know what I did? I went and found somebody to help. I went and started looking for people I can talk to, share the good news about. He's working while I'm working. He says, I know your everyday need. That's Matthew 6:27, I believe it is. I know your everyday need, and I will provide for you. Live for me. Tell people. Share, sow seeds, and make the kingdom your primary concern. So when you are worrying, poor me, take me out of it. It ain't about us. This life is not about us. If we call ourselves Christians, we need to walk, talk, eat, sleep, and breathe like we Christians. There should be nothing negative coming out of our mouths. Why me? I need this. I need that. Why is this happening to me? I'm a good person, you know. Why didn't I get the best job? Why? take you out of it. Whatever is happening, God is preparing you. So in order for you to lean on him, how you gonna lean on him if he don't send you through nothing? Are we gonna lean on God automatically if God just makes life just great for us? No, we're gonna forget about him because we only call on him when we need him. So he has to make sure that he keeps us focused on him. So every now and then he's got to ruffle our feathers. He's got to ruffle our feathers. He's got to let us know, you're on this earth for me. Your purpose is to serve me, no one else. So when we start to think, oh, everything's good. You know what? I'm not going to go to church today. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Okay, just watch. Because God wants to be first in our lives. And when people look at us, they are looking to see the Lord in us. We are images of God. We are images. So we need to act, we need to talk, we need to walk, we need to speak to people. It shouldn't be nothing negative. And I understand, the flesh feels that way. I just feel like I feel like I'm a totally different person because I've never been this transparent about myself. I've always been very secretive. And people thought, I was a mysterious person because I would never share anything because I didn't have an attachment with my parents. So you don't need to know why you need to know. Give me a reason why I need to tell you. But now it's like I look for people to be open with. And this is the Spirit. This is the Holy Spirit. I was at a revival last week and I had an out-of-body experience. I've never experienced that. And I felt the Lord. So what he's given me, what I've been through, I have embraced it. I'm a better person because it happened. So whatever you're going through, whatever, let the non-Christians see the Spirit in you. Let non-believers see that God is in you. Because when you start to speak negative, they're taking notes. They're trying to decide if they want to become a Christian or not. So for me, I'm always thinking, somebody's looking at me, somebody's watching me, somebody's watching us all the time. Being a Christian, I want to say it can be hard sometimes because the flesh messes with you sometimes. It's like, okay, really, do I have to the straight and narrow? Do I have to do it this way? I want to do it that way, back and forth. But I find it's very joyful to me. It's like second nature to me now. The way I live, So once again, I just want to try to encourage you guys to be in the Spirit, draw closer to God, whatever you're going through, lean on him. When you start to think about whatever's going on, get the word in your head, get some gospel, do something, because don't give the devil no power. All he wants to do is break your spirit. He wants to break that spirit. He wants to kill your peace. And once he does that, he's good. He's ready to go on to the next person. For me, when it happens, I said, okay, devil, you don't matter. You just don't know who I am. You better kick rocks. I'm not having it. When you start talking to him and letting him know, what he's up to, he flee. He leave you alone. I tell you, me and my daughter here by ourselves, I can't afford it. I'm the flesh. The flesh cannot afford this. The way I live, I can't afford it. But because I lean on God so much, he can afford everything. He owns all of this. If he wants me to have it, he'll make sure I keep it. So oh gosh, everything I do, it's about the Lord. If you guys can just take that in and remember, tomorrow is going to be another hurdle. Tomorrow you're going to have another challenge. Take it head on. Take one step and just walk in faith and know that the Lord is with you wherever you go. He said, I will never leave you. I'll never forsake you. When you know the word and you doubt the word, then you don't believe the word. That's why I tell people, when you read it and you doubt it by letting something come out that's not of the word, then where's your faith? When your faith is there, it shows. You speak it. When your faith is there, you speak it. So remember that. Even your illness, the doctors say, hey, you know what, you got this, you got that, or you know what, you lost that job, or you know what, the boyfriend left you, or you know, the kid's cutting up. Why does this keep happening to me? Why me? I just don't understand it. He's building your character. He's got plans for you. Don't think of it as a negative. He said, rejoice when trouble comes your way. Remember those scriptures. They're real. They're true. Be real. Be true. Trust God. Stay focused on Him. He loves you guys. Okay? At this time, I just want to thank you guys for listening to me. I hope you've been inspired, encouraged to just move in the Spirit. Move. Okay? I don't think about me. I don't even care if it's cancer. I know if the Lord decides, then that means I'm not close enough to Him. He needs to draw me in closer. That's how I look at everything now, anything that goes my way. So just remember that. I'd like to thank you guys once again for listening to me, being encouraged. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you all. Yes. Yes.
The part that struck home for me was when she said that she talked about having a lot of stuff before, and how when we have a lot of stuff, all our needs, and we have, you know, what we need or even more than what we need, we tend to forget about God. And it's when we lose a lot and we're in a daily need, operating from a needier basis, I guess, a needier level, that we cry out to the Lord more.
I have an Embrace Me ministry, which is an adoption and foster care ministry. And how I met her is she contacted our ministry to be a mentor for somebody else, even though she was going through this cancer herself. I didn't even know it. But in the midst of her crisis, she was reaching out to be a mentor to somebody. I met her over the phone, and then we just was kindred spirit, and I met her in person the next day, and we've been friends ever since. And this is in her house, and it's in red, and I just want to say I love AC. I love what she's doing for others, and I love what she's doing for the Lord.
What spoke to me the most in her testimony, it was a great reminder that if you trust in God, He will take care of you. Myself, we're in the same situation where it was time to do a loan modification for our home. And with starting my new business, not having much income through my company, I didn't know if they were going to approve it. But I just kept standing fast, saying God will provide. He knows our heart. He knows what we need. And if this is where I'm supposed to be, He will let us know. And He did. We've been blessed, and we're still in our home, and business is growing, and all is good.
I'm excited to see when her book comes out. When she was giving her testimony, she was real. She just laid it out there. She opened her heart. She wasn't afraid to tell us about anything that did happen, and the way she explained it to us, you really think that was many of us back in the 60s and 70s. And I'm glad she's opening up and just releasing her heart. Her testimony she was giving us, you know, it just went straight back to the Bible. You know, this temple is not yours. Everything belongs to God. And once you understand that and you see that, and the way she explained it to you was great, because you're not yours. You're not living here for yourself. You're living here for the Lord.
You were made to live.